Hey, this is Matt Andersen. You listen to the Show Me Music podcast.
What should I say if I can't say hello? Do I replay all of the words you already know?
Hi, and welcome to the Show Me Music podcast live from the Barn Studio. You got the Mox here with Dwayne. Dwayne, how are you, man?
I'm glad to be here, Chad. Thanks for having me.
We have a special guest online with us right now. We have Mr. Matt Andersen. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
We're doing really good. You are coming to our neck of the woods tomorrow night, actually. You're going to be at the Blue Strawberry in St. Louis, Missouri on February 23rd with one of our dear friends, Mariel Buckley. How's the tour been going?
Great. I got Mariel right beside me. She's driving right now. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, you have to tell her, Chad from the Barn said, "What's up, Mariel? We love her, and she's been so supportive of us, and we've been trying to support her as much as we can as well."
Yeah, she was bragging you up on the drives.
Man, driving across the country, man. I know you're from Canada, so, I mean, you get to see a lot of the, it's a beautiful country we have here, huh?
Yeah, she started out in Seattle. We came down to California, then went through Arizona, New Mexico, and then ended up this way. It's just been a great drive. We've gone through all four seasons, it feels like, but it's been great. It's a beautiful country.
I was going to mention that you've been doing this now 20 years, man, so I know that you had to come through St. Louis a couple of times. Any memories from your time in St. Louis?
Actually, this is my first time coming through.
No way.
No kidding.
Oh, man, that makes it, I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow night to see you, so that makes it even more special.
Yeah, no, I've been around this area a bunch, but never actually made a stop in, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, you got to check out the Arch. Go Cardinals.
Yeah, we're known for just a couple things, and one's food, one's Nelly, and one's the Arch, I think. But we'll try to treat you. We'll try to treat you right. February 23rd tomorrow at Blue Strawberry. That's a club I've never been to, but it looks just from the website and from the pictures, it looks like a killer spot. But you are playing the City Winery tonight, which is a pretty legendary venue down in Nashville. Have you played there before?
Yeah, this is probably my third time there, I think, doing this one. So it's going to be a nice little way to wrap everything up. I got one gig we're used to doing, and then a new one tomorrow night before we fly home. It's going to feel great.
Yeah, and it looks like your spring is pretty booked up afterwards. So maybe you get a few week break or a week break, and then you're back out on the road doing some more shows. Yeah,
we've got I've been down here solo. Then we got about 3 weeks off, and I go home and take the band back home, going across the country in Canada. So that'll be another 5-6 weeks on that run, I think.
Yeah, and then you're going to be out supporting the Big Bottle of Joy out March 10th. Tell us about the Big Bottle of Joy.
Pretty much that kind of came out of the pandemic. A lot of us, my friends, we couldn't really go anywhere, so we made an album together at home. It's a lineup I've always wanted to have, but everybody was always too busy for it to really happen, and we kind of managed to pull it together for this album. Going to take that same band out on the road. It's an absolute blast. It's a 9-piece band. It's just it's a big old machine up there on stage. It's a lot of fun.
How did the pandemic affect your songwriting? I mean, the whole process.
It was kind of cool for this one. Usually when I write, I try to make it work for me in acoustic because that's how I do most of my touring. But for this album, I knew exactly who the players were going to be, so it was kind of fun to be able to sit down and write songs knowing what you're going to have to work with when you get in the studio. No surprises. So it did kind of direct that a little bit, which is it was a cool way to kind of break away from just doing the solo thing all the time.
I want to tell you a story, Matt. Last night, I was talking with Chad, and he wanted me to come over here and talk with you. And so I did a little research, fell down a rabbit hole listening to your music. Got to say, laying in bed with my girlfriend naked, she dug the shit out of it, man. She loved it. You were my wingman last night. You get the assist. High five. And when I got here and found out that I'm going to get to come and see you tomorrow night, and I called her. She's at work, and I said, guess what we get to do tomorrow? And I told her we were going to the show, and she is super excited, man. She dug your sound like from the first time you hit you strum your guitar. She was in.
Perfect.
Can you do the same for me tonight with my wife?
Right. I was like, this is awesome. It's like he's my wingman tonight.
I'll open the door. You guys got to walk in, though. That's all I can say.
We kind of joke about it, but do you feel that there's, sort of that soulful sexiness to some of your stuff?
I would never say that myself, but it's I grew up listening to a lot of that kind of music. That's the stuff I'm drawn to, the soul and the R&B and that kind of stuff. And the old blues records are definitely something that I was kind of latched onto. So it kind of finds its way into whatever I do.
I'm sure you get compared to other artists. Sometimes is there some flattery there, or are there artists that you get compared to that you think's pretty relevant in what you do?
It's weird, but I've learned to, not put too much in thought into when people compare me to somebody else. Because I've been compared for everything to, from Meatloaf to Chris Stapleton. So I'm never really sure what people are hearing, but I always find that they're usually comparing in a good way. So I don't take any offense to it and really look into it too much.
Yeah, that's great. Can I quote you real quick about some of the players on this record? You said, somebody told me a long time ago that when you put a band together, you need to make yourself the weakest musician. So that's always what I've done. Mm-hmm. And they're all absolutely monstrous at what they do. I don't know if I pronounced it right.
You nailed it.
They're just monsters on this record. Tell us about some of the players on here.
They're all local musicians around home who just people I've been fans with or I've been fans who they played with. A lot of them were side guys. A lot of them have their own careers as well, but they're all just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it was a guy I used to play with probably about 20 years ago told me that, if you want a good band, just make sure you're the weakest player in the band. And it wasn't a stress to do that with these players, and they're all absolutely fantastic. And it's just a massive sound. They pour it on every night. It's a ball off stage. It's a good time on stage. It's the best kind of band to have, really.
So when I was growing up, it was the Seattle sound in the 90s and everything. And one of the reasons they said that there were a lot of bands in Seattle was because it rained all the damn time and nobody could go outside, so they stayed inside and made music. So being from the Great White North, is it just because it was just too darn cold outside, or what was going on there?
A lot of great artists.
Well, the cold, we can handle the cold, but it's mostly just a small town, and also, East Coast where I'm from, there's a big history of music there. There's a lot of Acadian, Celtic, and stuff going on there. So it's part of our culture, really. I mean, my grandfather played fiddle, mom played piano, lots of cousins played. So it's just something you did to fit in more than really for any other reason. Otherwise you're just sitting there waiting for somebody else to finish playing songs.
There's a festival or something every year in your hometown, right?
There is, yeah. Yep, the Hullabaloo.
Yeah, I was reading about that earlier, and it sounded really cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my best friends started that up. She just kind of had the idea to get something going on at home, and it's pretty fantastic. It's full of local musicians and lots of touring acts come through for it too. It's kind of turning a really good thing. My mom does the catering for it, so it definitely feels like going home when I go play that one.
Right, a big little family affair. That's awesome.
That's very cool.
What were some of your biggest influences growing up? How do you pregame? What do you listen to before you go on stage?
Usually nothing. I kind of like quiet before I go on.
Oh, yeah.
I save all my energy and any sensory for when I get on stage is kind of what I like to do. I don't like to have too much going on backstage. It's not a big party until after. Before I keep it pretty chill. But, I don't know. When I used to play bars, though, I would always want to have something to pump me up and get me ready for the drunks. But, when people are kind of sitting down more on your side than the drunks were, I guess it's just like to be a bit more of a chill headspace before I get on stage.
What do you think of, for somebody that's been around for a while and been doing it for a long time, you've sort of seen the I would guess, the change in the music industry. What do you think of the state of the music now with, so much of our attention span is so quick to change to something else, and sort of like what I've been calling the TikTok culture.
You're right. Getting away from album culture and more into singles.
Yeah. How do you, as an artist and your livelihood's based on what you're doing for a living, obviously, how do you adjust to that, or do you adjust to it?
Some of you kind of have to ignore, I definitely notice more and more. It doesn't matter if it's me or, I've been on the road with some big headliners and that kind of stuff. You look out, there's always people with their faces buried in their phones, and it's just so disappointing. I feel like people are really missing out on what's going on stage lots of times. But, when it comes down to it, it kind of feels like we're getting back to, musicians making a living on the road. For a long time you could sell CDs, kind of get some mailbox money coming in, but now you've got to be on the road playing in front of people for it to work. So I kind of like that idea that everybody's just out on the road slugging away.
Is that the best way for fans to support a musician like you? Is it to come out to the shows, buy the merchandise? That's
absolutely it. Come out to shows, bring friends with you. Buy the T-shirts if you can, all that stuff for Silver Day. I think it's really coming down to having bums and seats. That's just it. We can't sit at home and make money. So if you got musicians who are willing to come into your town and you want to hear them, go support them.
Absolutely.
And we plan on doing that tomorrow night, February 23rd, Blue Strawberry, St. Louis, Missouri, with your favorite and ours, Mariel Buckley. What's it like being touring with Mariel? You got any funny stories that we can hold some dirt on her?
Dirt on her? Oh, I don't know.
Or she got the dirt on you?
She's never had an Arby's sandwich. Yeah, She's never had an Arby's sandwich, and we were in Kansas City, and she took us to an absolutely horrible barbecue joint. It was her choice, so her retribution, she's got to eat an Arby's sandwich tomorrow.
You found bad barbecue in Kansas City. That's kind of a surprise.
Yeah, that is a surprise.
Yeah, but we were surprised too. It was pretty disappointing against the punishments. When I first started to see it. Well, we'll send you a video of that.
Yeah, we kind of tease Mariel on Twitter sometimes because in our interview she talked about Colter Wall and knowing him, and with our egocentrical United States ass, we feel like Canada's just all one spot. Like, do you know Norm Macdonald and all these famous Canadians or whatever? And we was kind of teasing her on Twitter. It's like, we're just sitting around waiting for Mario to get us a Colter Wall interview, just sitting here waiting.
Right. How many times have you seen Strange Brew, man?
Yeah, Bob and Doug and all that.
Word for word, I know that.
Oh, absolutely. There we go.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think is in the water up there? Like, especially there's so many famous stand-up comedians, or maybe not even stand-up, but like comedic actors and Jim Carrey's and
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate. We put out our best. I guess maybe that's the way they do it. I don't know. They've got to climb to the top on our side before they go anywhere else. So maybe that's how we get them out there.
Absolutely. We're excited to see you tomorrow night, February 23rd, St. Louis, Missouri at the Blue Strawberry. Our first time being at that venue, our first time seeing Matt Andersen and Mariel Buckley. We cannot wait to be there. Matt, we'll catch you tomorrow night.
All right. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
And expect no reply when I see you on the other side of goodbye. I'll just stand aside and stay out of your way and pretend I don't miss you more every day. I'll put on a smile until you pass by. When I see you on the other side of goodbye. Oh, when I see you on the other side of goodbye.